Alright, hello everybody. This is part 2 to the Enochian Sigil Magick introduction. But I want to cover a couple different things in this video. First, I want to give a shout out to a good friend of mine. He's a tarot reader, a very gifted tarot reader, and it's Avery over at Seldom Dreams on YouTube. So Seldom Dreams is the channel. He's got a website too where he posts articles and stuff, and the guy's talented. He's talented in a lot of ways, and for his age, he's a pretty wise cookie. So I want to give a shout out to him. The Audacity, I've been working on the Audacity software, trying to get it figured out, and I'm doing translations, Enochian translations, because a few pages of my notes didn't make it in the move, so I'm having to do some translations again. And I'm getting manuscript for book 3, King of Princes. I'm going over the manuscript for the read through for the audiobook recording. I did it with the first book. I went through it, and the first section of the first book has like an interview. It's a mock-up interview that I use as a device to put out a lot of information just straight out and kind of set the gist of what's kind of behind the entire Hyacinth Pillars series. And so I'm doing that with book 3. Book 2 is the Grimoire, so it's pretty straightforward. It's just a lot of summonings, a lot of Enochian names of the Goetic demons, angelic. It's got a lot of stuff in it, but it's a grimoire, so it's less exposition. It's more just raw information and Enochian invocations and evocations. Okay, the first video I talked about creating the sigils and how they're made, and I talked about how you could. This is all related to the book I'm working on now. Book 6 is the Darkness Tarot, Authentic Tarot of the Atlantean Witch King, and the sigils. It's a witchcraft technology, and it's efficiency of divination based upon the direct translations into the angelic language, and then the numerky. It's kind of like the Chaldean numerky, but it's an Enochian numerky. It's not the Chaldean. It's older than that, and it's based on straightforward energetic polarity. 1 through 8, the letters are 1 through that are assigned, or associated with the 1, 2, 3, 4 through 8 are of the sublime positive, if you want to say positive, like the law of one does positive, negative. I have, there's 2 Enochian words for the 2 polarities of the Rehikile, Inole, generation energy. And it's the Nilihe, positive, sublimed, and the Rotve, negative or unsublimed. Now, sublimed, unsublimed, these are words that I've put on there to structure it, understand it. Excuse me. The number 9, it has the G and the J, the U and the V and the P. These are in the Enochian. These characters are under the Rotve. Those are the Rotve. And then 1 through 8, those are Nilihe. I mean, that's just as straightforward as I can explain it right now. and I've noticed some patterns. I kind of started getting into it just a little bit in book 4, which book 4 is Enochian Chants, Kundalini Sorcery. It's the second vocabularium of the Enochian, and I do differentiate between words that start in the vocabulary with characters of the relative A or under the 9, the GJ, UV, and P, and from the others. And I get into the energetic Magick structure of the language a bit. I mean, it's an ongoing process in understanding it myself and then putting it out there in the series. And I don't even know how far I'm supposed to take this. You know, I'll have to ask, management, which is my term for the divine, source, meta, spirit, human resources. Just, it's an inside joke. But anyway, something I mentioned in the first video was that you could take blank cards and you could do in book 6, I have all the divinatory meanings for each of the cards, the 78 card Thoth Tarot. And I have them, there's a translation into an Enochian singular word, a single word for each of those, even if it's a phrase, seeking life's deeper meanings, or the difference between, or the connection between dream and reality. These are phrases, these are divinatory meanings, which I refer to them as anchors, which that's an energetic thing. But these divinatory meanings are translated into a singular Enochian word. Now that Enochian word is the energetic signature of that divinatory meaning. Now if you do a straight translation, word by word, you're going to have a sentence, and just straight what I call, early on I refer to as linear Enochian, which is, linear Enochian is just a crude way of, instead of a syntagmatic or a syntax, cohesive syntax series of words, Mary had a little lamb, not Mary lamb had little. That would not be syntagmatic in the sense that it's not a coherent stream in the way the arrangement of the words. Enochian isn't like that. Enochian doesn't have punctuation. It doesn't have sentences. It has words, multiple words, lots of words. And it basically, it fulfills what I refer to as an energetic demand, or a levy of energetic demand. And it fulfills that in the communique. So the concept, what it is, the objective reality or subjective reality, it is expressed in the Enochian through these words, and they are the sum total, the balance of those words is energetically perfect. It's a pristine expression energetically. So this has to do with the arrangement of the characters and the words themselves, and the arrangement of the words. The non-linear, as I refer to it, it has more compounded words. So you can do straight word to word translations, which is fine. If it's written down, this is what the through angelic summonings and conversations and spirit, meta, whatever, source. Basically, if it's written down vocabulary-wise, it is known by the person, the consciousness that puts that down in a vocabulary. It is known throughout the totality of the one, the entirety. Omnipotent, omniscient, ineffable, infallible, the whole. It is known that was put down that way. Now, the angels, they speak a non-linear form, as I call it. A lot more compounded words, and they can say with a few words what in English, Spanish, Russian, Chinese, Japanese, whatever, is quite a few words. It's reduced, but the concept conveyed, the communication conveyed is pristine and energetically balanced and complete. Now, the sigils, like I was saying in the first video, you can take blatant cards and put the 3 sigils. So there's the divinatory translations that I have for each of the 78 cards. 3 sections: name of the card, Magus Thoth, the associated zodiac, planet, masculine, feminine energy, and then the instinct is one way of describing it. It's kind of the energetic essence of that card. It's a principal energetic essence of that card. That's the first section. Okay, so that would be 1. If it's like 2 of swords, it's going to be 3 words. It's going to be ni, day, Unotani is Unotanies, pentacles. It might be Zotehe. I've got so many translations here. Let's see. Let's look it up real quick. I've just entered in all these notes in. Let's see here. Let's see. Okay, so it's Zotehe. Yeah. So like 9 swords is aim, day, Zotehe. Because aim is 9. It doesn't get the absent character phonetic. Numbers and personal names do not get the absent character phonetic. And of course, day, it ends with an E, so it functions as. And Zotehe, swords. And then 9 of swords, it's assigned feminine energy, and that is Elfutize. And masculine is Pheloteoe. But this is 9 of swords, so it's going to be feminine, and this is what it's assigned. Now, this may be different than the Aleister Crowley Thoth they assign zodiac and planets and everything. This is for management, so you have to take it up with them. But it's legit. So it's assigned the moon. 9 of swords is assigned the moon, which in the Enochian is Ihote. And then it's given the zodiac Scorpio, which is Tuniae, Tuni, Tuniae. And then the instinct is the destructive power is offensive, and that is Tuzulole. And then the Enochian numeric key for that word is 2979 888. 2977 888. Yeah. And then the light, the next sigil will be created from the light divinatory meanings. So the fear of being, is a guide on your path to maturity, and that's Zoze Rupove. 787859989. Encountering darkness. Inhorukai. 1238591. Martyrdom. Otuz Utoge. 829-79289. And then terrorist period of the Inquisition, and that is Soktorune 386285592. And then the shadow shame is Kutzove 692789. Guilt is Sohuve. Sohuve is 38399. Fear is Nope. It's spelled the same as the English word nope, but it's Nope. 2898. Disgrace is Tito Zive. Tito Zive 2128719. Suffering is Kuzonie. Kuzonie 297821. And then hate is Tokoe. Tokoe 2868. So there's 3 sigils, 3 sets here of translations and numbers. And I said that you could take a blank card, write the name of the card on it: Magisthoth, Hierophant, Justice, Lust, Two of Pentacles, whatever. And you could put the 3 sigils on there, and they would work quite efficiently. And I said you could draw a squiggly line, you could put smiley face stickers on there, you could draw basically whatever you wanted. But let's be clear about one thing: whoever is taking Enochian translations like this and putting them in sigil form and putting them on a card, well, this isn't somebody who's just walking down the street that's never heard of tarot. This isn't somebody who's probably only lived maybe 150 or 300 past lives. This is probably somebody that's lived a few thousand past lives. I know I have. I've lived a lot of past lives. I could tell you how many, but I tend to keep it to myself. But it's a big number. Now, I'm not trying to toot my own horn. I feel some of those years. Believe me. Not just the one I've lived in this life. Which, all for all, I love life. Avery, I watched your video. Yo! Okay, no. But seriously. So whoever is putting them down, those sigils down on a set of tarot cards like that, they probably have past life experience with clairvoyant abilities, witchcraft, sorcery, and these kind of things. The point being is it does matter who is drawing on those cards. You know, I read basically the art. When I see a set of tarot cards, I just don't look at the cover of the box. I don't just look at I want to know who the artist is. I'd like to know who the artist is. It is important because the art that goes on those cards can be very, very powerful. Now, for some clairvoyants, this is their method of imbuing a set of tarot cards, is with this individual art that they put on those cards. And between their consciousness and their clairvoyant ability, their past lives and past clairvoyant ability, which does show up throughout. If you know anybody that has clairvoyant ability, well, I guarantee you that in the past life they've had this ability, another facet of that ability, a lesser degree of that ability, maybe a greater degree of the ability. You know, I'm not in HR right now, so I can't give you the breakdown on the reincarnation, you know, divvying of clairvoyant abilities and so on and so forth. But if they've got good clairvoyant abilities, yeah, their past life they've done this before. You just don't incarnate a few hundred times and then, well, boom, you're highly clairvoyant. It doesn't work that way. Now, my buddy Avery, he's producing his own set of tarot cards, and I'm excited for these to come out. I got an author friend named John Vermillion who wrote the Asai Kaluxa, and he's got a new book out called Zakael, and the dude's badass. Avery's High Frequency, John Vermillion, the author, High Frequency. He's got a set of oracle cards, and he's not trying to, get rich. He's he might limit the number of the amount of decks that he sells of these cards, but they're badass. Let me tell you, they're badass. And I'm going to get a set of Avery's tarot cards. He ain't done with the art yet. But as soon as Avery gets done with the art, I want that set of tarot cards, and I'm getting a set of John Vermillion's Oracle cards. Now, if I had links to all this, I'd throw them in the video, but I'm new to making YouTube videos, so it'd probably take me a while to figure that out. I'm just going to upload this thing. But Seldom Dreams, I don't know. I don't know what I don't even know if he's picked a name for the deck yet, but he's got quite a few of the cards done. Quite a few. I've seen, well, half dozen, more than that, 2 dozen, maybe, of the art that he has. And the art he has is very potent. It is imbued with energy. And this is important. If I was an artist, I would be doing some badass art, producing my own badass set of cards. What I'm doing is I'm producing the sigils out of the Enochian translations that you can slap on a set of tarot cards. Okay. And I'll probably end up doing some Oracle translations of the Enochian and some sigils you can put on a set of Oracle cards. Basically, you can take a set of the regular Aleister Crowley Thoth Tarot or a version of the Thoth Tarot, and you can draw these sigils on the cards with a fine point. The best colors to use, red, black, and white, because that's the colors of the beast, the prophet, and the dragon. If you don't know that, well, now you do. Those are the best colors. 3 sigils, 3 colors, red, black, and white. And so it is important about the energy. It really is, because the clairvoyant ability of that individual that's producing this art, I can look at it and feel spirit in that art. And most of the art I've seen on a lot of commercial tarot decks is very good. Some of them are very good. I can see the artist. I can sense masculine or feminine energy off of that art. You may not believe that, but I'm not here to make believers. And then I've seen some videos recently with some of the new, very commercial tarot decks where people just basically took public art, free, copyright free art, and they slapped them on there, and they produced a set of tarot cards, and they put the name of each card on there. Well, yeah, spirit can work with that, but it's not as efficient. It's just not as efficient. So I wanted to make that clarification. This video is getting pretty long. If you've watched this far, I want to thank you. I got the microphone because I'm doing the audiobooks. I'm working on the audiobooks. And I just like this thing. It reminds me of the 1980s or something. It takes me back in time. I don't know. And the camera's not the best camera, but it's the camera I got. It's the camera you get until I get a better one. But if I want to get a better one. But thank you for watching, and I'll probably do another video on the sigils as far as ritual use, which is a whole kind of, well, it's not really a whole different thing, but it's put forward. You can craft from the vocabulary of the first book and the fourth book. You can lay out your phrase, words, go to the vocabulary, write down the Enochian. You can take the number key, boom, there's your numbers, boom, draw your sigils, boom, you're ready. And those are some of the best sigils you can make. All right, thank you for watching, and namaste.